Menglawa and welcome to Myanmar Today. I'm Henry Zin. Here are the latest news and reports. First one on Model ASEAN Simulation. Next, 2019 Union Tax Law Presentation Event by Commerce Graduates Association. A story coverage on tribute-paying ceremony to the Doyen writers. And the last report on tourism during Christmas and New Year. Before we get to the reports, why don't we have a look at what's happening in local news. A ceremony was held at the Department of Medical Research to explain the implementation of processes with the acquisition of the World Health Organization funds for 2020 to 2021 on Monday. Union Minister Dr. Myanmar Today said his ministry will not be beginning new ventures or restarting existing ones in 2020, but will make minor amendments and beneficial changes to ongoing ones. He said the ministry must endeavor for early implementation of its health action plans during 2020 to 2021 with WHO funds. The Union Minister said all relevant officials must understand the standards for WHO funds. The 13th General Program of Work 2019 to 2023 prioritized strategic goals, action plans, aims, and facts for acquiring funding. The Central Body of Farmland Management held its 26th coordination meeting at the Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock and Irrigation on Monday. Chairman of Central Body, Union Minister Dr. Aung Thu, discussed considering proposals for cultivation of alternative crops not to affect paddy growing, which is exceeding 40% of the domestic consumption. However, to meet local demand with an increasing population of the country and export. The Union Minister also advised to scrutinize applications of land utilization by farmers, private firms, associations, departmental organizations, and departments not to have impacts on food security and agricultural outputs of the country, while compensations are to be given without delay in accordance with the existing laws, bylaws, rules, and regulations. A coordination meeting to plan uninterrupted distribution of electricity for the summer was held at Yangon Electricity Supply Corporation on Monday. Union Minister for Electricity and Energy, U Win Kind, said it is important for all departments to coordinate for sustainable electricity generation in the summer. The Union Minister said they have plans to increase electric generation to meet the rising demand and consumption. He said a total of 4,200 megawatts will be needed in 2020, and the plans for generating them are complete with the distribution part necessary as well. However, there may be unexpected shortcomings in releasing natural gases, and there is a need to use hydropower for mixed generation. Chairman of the Mandalay Region Luto Resources and Environmental Conservation Committee, U A Kind, said to protect the endangered Ayeyarwady dolphin at the regional level, a dolphin survey report is being compiled and will be submitted for consideration at the Luto. The dolphin's natural habitats in Mingun, Chaomiao, Tijine, Katar, and Shuegu are designated conservation areas. The Department of Fisheries and Wildlife Conservation Society are working together with local residents to protect the dolphins. However, according to a WCS report, there are only around 72 Ayeyarwady dolphins in Myanmar. The dolphin survey report aims to prevent their numbers from dropping and to increase their reproduction rate by implementing a regional-level protection program. Human fossils have been discovered at what researchers consider to be a Bronze Age cyst burial on the side of the Yangon-Mandalay Highway, according to a local. 7 human fossils, pots, animal bones, bone beads, stone beads, a mussel shell, and 2 bronze arrowheads have been discovered at the site. The place where the human fossils were found has been marked as an Iron Age site with a plaque. The Department of Archaeology and National Museum under the Ministry of Religious Affairs and Culture has been conducting discovery tours at sites from the Stone Age, Bronze Age, Early Iron Age, Late Iron Age, Pew Dynasty, Gombao Dynasty, Bagan Dynasty, and Kingdom of Ava, and preserving ancient finds, according to the department. Well, that's all with the local news, and here's the first report on Myanmar Today. Model ASEAN Simulation, which is a simulation for students to engage in a role play after the actual regional level ASEAN Summit, has been organized by Myanmar EU Share Alumni Network at the Art Hall of the University of Yangon on Sunday. David Hanna has more.
Model ASEAN Simulation is a kind of simulation for students which allows the students to engage in the role play, which is modeled after the actual regional level summits and involves discussions in decision-making processes to address a particular regional issue. With that said, Myanmar Today, who is one of the officers for the PR team of ASEAN, told MR Radio about the detail of the event.
This team realized we have been to other foreign countries for one semester as an exchange student. Like for me, I went to Vietnam and study at Ho Chi Minh University of Technology and Education with a shared scholarship. And this scholarship is EU provided there a lot of support, and we students from ASEAN country go to other ASEAN countries as an exchange student. So last month ago we came back here, but we want to give something back to the students in Myanmar, like our experience or like our how is the education system is like in other country. So we would like to organize this simulation, and this simulation is called Modern ASEAN simulation. Normally it focuses on 3 parts, but for this we are close with the education system, so we choose the topic is for the education.
The simulation has been focused on education reforms of the ASEAN nations, which is a crucial cornerstone for the achievement of ASEAN's ambition. One vision, one identity, one community. Myanmar Today added on more about this.
Okay, there will be the representatives for each country. There will be 4 representatives, but in the simulation, we will call only 3 representatives, like head of government, senior officials, and ministers of education. In the simulation, each country will represent what's their issues in their country and what we can do for that and what we can do for other countries. First of all, you will know how this simulation celebrates, and each year there will be 2 summits, and in the simulation we place Myanmar as a chair country for 2019, and you will know how the education is like in other countries, and you will know the issues, and in here the representatives will have to think their resolutions.
Ma Alinu, chairperson of Myanmar EU Share Alumni Network, also explains MI Radio for what Myanmar EU Share Alumni Network (MISAN) is and how it was formed.
Actually, this alumni association is organized we got a support from European Union, and that European Union support higher education in ASEAN region. So they assign us to make some activities and events that is relating with ASEAN stuff, and also we have some objectives, we want to get a standardized education in these ASEAN countries, and so we're thinking of some events which is related with this education stuff and also this ASEAN related issue. So we kind of think about this model ASEAN meeting for that. It is really important because we're living in this ASEAN community. So I want everyone to aware that some are developing countries and also some are already developed countries. So for this, some of the ASEAN countries are still developing. So I want to the youths are the future. So maybe they can start a point for this ASEAN related issues or something. So I'm probably thinking okay, they will get something from this kind of event.
Regarding with the EU Share scholarships, Ma Alinu also motivated the students in each respective university to try apply the EU Share scholarship.
MISAN, Myanmar EU Share Alumni Network, we are a composition of 4 universities in this country, Mandalay University, Yangon University of Economics, and Myanmar Maritime University. But every student from those universities to apply the scholarship, and because as you have been to a university and if you haven't experienced anything about foreign stuff, so maybe after applying for the scholarship, maybe they can gain some knowledges about, and maybe they can expand their network as well. And also we're about to hold more events in this year, so I want them to join.
Reporter David Tanner reporting from Myanmar International Radio.
That's a report on Model ASEAN simulation. Alright, it's time now to check on the weather forecast in Myanmar. It's a nice weather with sunshine and patchy clouds during the day. Expect highest temperatures of 33 degrees Celsius and the lowest of 20 degrees Celsius. In Naypyidaw, a pleasant weather with clouds and sunshine during the day. Expect highest temperature of 29 degrees Celsius and the lowest of 18 degrees Celsius at night. In Mandalay, it'll be cloudy with showers during the day. Expect highest temperatures of 27 degrees Celsius and the lowest of 18 degrees Celsius. A thunderstorm in spots in the evening, otherwise mostly cloudy at night. Well, we have another report coming up, and then we'll check on the stocks and currency exchange rates. Commerce Graduates Association Myanmar hosted its regular discussion for the auditors and accountants. For the discussion held on Sunday, the topic was 2019 Union Tax Law, which has come into effect on October 1st.
Commerce Graduates Association Myanmar CGA has hosted the talk on the 2019 Union Tax Law presentation on 29 December at the Training School of Office of the Auditor General of the Union. Doyen, Deputy Director of Large Taxpayers Office LTO, has delivered the presentation about the 2019 Union Tax Law, which was approved by Bidangzu Ludo and which came into effect on 1st October of 2019.
Commerce Graduate Association
Our Commerce Graduates Association holds at least 12 discussions in a year for continuous professional development CBD. This is to increase the license period of the auditors and accountants by collecting the learning hours. So we have 4 hours per discussion with the knowledgeable topics. So we organize the CPD discussions every month, and the topic of this month is 2019 Union Tax Law. This year is a fiscal year of 6-month budget, which starts from 2019 April to 2019 September. Today, we are to present the details about 2019 Union Tax Law.
The Union Tax Law was enacted since 2014, and it's enacted annually because of possible changes. The 2019 Union Tax Law includes 10 chapters, and I am to talk about the changes made in 8 chapters, including the newly introduced Gemstones Tax Law. As the taxpayers, it needs to be updated with the yearly enacted Union Tax Law to get the correct tax calculation. And we always motivate the taxpayers for the regular payment to earn the full tax for the country. The return period is also done soon. We have announced publicly to pay the tax or send notice respectively.
As one of the respective changes, gemstone was dismissed as special commodity and the specific gemstone tax law was added.
If we want to make changes in the Union Tax Law, we have to submit it to the Bidangzu Ludo, and the Ludo decides to approve the Union Tax Law. So we listen to the difficulties of the taxpayers as well as the necessary changes. We put it in a draft bill and submit it to the Bidangzu Ludo.
This is a tax return period, so that it is important to know how to calculate the tax to pay. There are various types of tax, such as commercial tax, income tax, and many other kinds. You should know how to calculate the respective tax. Our government has allowed the privatization more, so the budget depends on the tax. All the taxes ought to be used for the country and the citizens. That's why it is important to pay the tax without fail.
Tax plays an important role in building a developed country, and all the citizens need to be the regular taxpayers. That's all for now. This is Dora Swisson from MI Radio.
That's a report on 2019 Union Tax Law Presentation event by Commerce Graduates Association. And now we have an information on currency rates from Myanmar Central Bank. $1 is at 1,479 Jets. 1 Chinese renminbi is at 211 Jets. €1 is at 1,656 Jets. 1 pound sterling is at 1,937 Jets. 1 Singapore dollar is at 1,096 Jets. 1 Malaysian ringgit is at 360 Jets. 1 Thai baht is at 49 Jets, and the Indian rupee is at 20 Jets. Gold is trading at $1,521. Silver is at $18, and Brent crude oil is at $61. On the Yangon Stock Exchange, FMI is at 11,000. MTSH remains at 3,850. MCB is at 8,200. FPB remains at 23,000. TMH is at 2,900. You're with MI Radio's Myanmar Today. You can go onto our website at miradio.com.mm and catch many other great programs of MI Radio on the website. We're also running on 96.1 FM in Yangon, 96.5 in Mandalay, and 96.7 in Naypyidaw. Alternatively, you can download our app on both iOS and Android platforms. It's easy to search. Just type in Myanmar INTL Radio and you'll find the app. Download it on your devices so you can listen to our radio programs on the go. Stay with us as we bring you more reports on Myanmar Today. As part of the celebration of literary in Nador, the tribute-paying ceremony was held by Myanmar Writers Association to honor the Doyen writers of age 80. The annual event took place on Saturday at Yangon City Hall.
Nador is the 9th month in Myanmar calendar, and it is the month of celebrating that literary activities. The first Wasn't Moon Day of Nador is defined as Writers' Day, and starting from that day, different events kick off to celebrate Myanmar literature. As one of the celebrations, Myanmar Writers Association (MWA) held the tribute-paying ceremony to the Doyen writers on 28 December at Yangon City Hall. This is the annual event where the Doyen writers of age 80 years are invited and are paid homage with cash and kind.
This is
the 34th year of celebrating this tribute-paying ceremony. It has been held ever since before our association was named as Myanmar Writers Association. Now, this is the second conference year of MWA, and we are to keep doing this act of good deeds.
276 writers are invited to receive the homage, and the government organizations, other associations, and individual donors have supported the cash and kind.
We were receiving the donations even before the confirmation of the ceremony. We also organized the donation receiving event on the Christmas Day. Total 466 lakhs in cash was donated so that we pay homage to the Doyen writers with 1.5 lakhs in cash person. This is the same amount as last year, but we have invited more Doyen writers in this year. If the invited Doyen writers cannot be present at the occasion, we are to send the cash and kind to their homes. The responsible persons of MWA in respective townships will bring the donated items to the home of Doyen writers and pay homage to them.
One of the attendees of Doyen writers, 89-year-old Seyazi Udin Mounte, shared his happiness to attend the ceremony.
Because of my age, I cannot write anymore, but I'm glad that I can still read. I'm happy to be here every year because I can meet friends who have the same living as me. It is great to have conversations about literature and all the works we have contributed through our career.
မလာခင်လည်းအခက်အခဲရှိတယ်လာပြီးတော့လည်းပျော်သွားတယ်နော်ပျော်သွားပါတယ်အားရတယ်
Of course, it is difficult to go outside and join this ceremony at this age. It is sad to see that there are some people who cannot make their presence. But I feel happy once I arrive here because I can see many young writers and other volunteers are working actively to organize this event successfully. I warmly welcome and joyfully accept their effort to pay tribute to us.
Homage paying is the significant celebration in Myanmar tradition, and along with different literary activities of Nado, tribute paying ceremony to the Doyen writers is the unique activity of contributing good deeds as well as preserving the tradition. That's all for now. This is Dora Suisen from MI Radio.
That's a report on tribute-paying ceremony to the Doyen writers. And here's the last report on tourism during Christmas and New Year. Even though 2 public holidays for each of Christmas and New Year celebrations are provided, locals are still enjoying traveling. And the nice and warm weather of winter in Myanmar is also the reason of attracting the international tourists to visit during Christmas and New Year.
Christmas and New Year provides the public holidays when the people enjoy traveling because of the nice weather and unique celebrations. Yangon is also the place where many people visit for the fantastic and amusing events kicking off around the city.
Actually, during the Christmas and New Year time, we are quite aware that a lot of people in Yangon are going out of the city, and because the people are getting very congested, they feel congested here in the city. That's the reason they are going out from the city. But the thing is, on the other hand, there are a lot of people coming from Shan State, Rakhine State, Molamyang. These people are also coming and visiting to Yangon. That's really true.
Besides from Yangon, where the grand celebrations are usually held, there are many other places around the country crowded with travelers.
The most crowded places in Myanmar are Bagan, number 1, and Mandalay, and now Pingyuin, which is the hill station town, and in the lake. These are the most crowded places. And regarding with the beaches, a lot of people are going to Changda Beach, Nguezang Beach, and also Ngapli Beach.
Along with the increasing domestic tourism, there is the potential of rising of international arrivals. Uzo Mintin explained why the foreigners enjoy coming to Myanmar during Christmas and New Year.
If we are talking all the travelers or visitors, tourism and domestic travelers are really growing. For the arrivals from outside of the country, we are still struggling. But to compare with last year, we have a lot of big growth from Asia, and there is a slight drop from Europe. But if we compile all these data, our tourism arrivals has been increased. They really enjoy going to Bagan, Mandalay, Inle, and Ngapali Beach. Also, they also would like to go to Golden Rock, and what we are lucky is in Europe, this is a very serious winter time, and there's snow, and the temperature is almost 0 degree. So when they come and enjoy, they really enjoy any places. Most of the foreign tourists, they are coming to Myanmar just to enjoy their winter time, keeping away from very cold weather. They are coming here for the warm weather compared to their country. This is the main thing. And then another thing is regarding with the New Year celebration, right? They really enjoy at their hotel, what we say New Year Eve gala dinner, and then they enjoy the countdown party at their respective hotels.
Even though Christmas and New Year provides short public holidays, that is 2 days for each, the travelers are still traveling during the available time. There are many things to explore around the country during that short time. The travel agencies service the day trips as well.
Local travelers, they are going to the pagodas, even in Bagan, Mandalay, Bimulin, and in the lake. And then they also try to test how the other international tourists are enjoying the time. So that's very interesting. That's why they want to go for trekking, they want to go for camping, and so these are the interest raising from the local travelers during these days. Actually, some of the tourists I talked to, they said Bagan is a very magnificent place to enjoy the New Year. For example, what they do is they do the countdown party at their hotel, and then next morning they get up very early and they went to the hill, and then they enjoy the sunrise, because sunrise, the first sunrise of the first day of the year, they really want to enjoy.
The tourists can enjoy a lot of different and unique celebrations during the Christmas and New Year. And one more fantastic thing about Myanmar is that the weather is warm and nice during the winter. Well, that's all for now. This is Dora Swison from MI Radio.
That's all the reports on Myanmar Today. Time to look at the world through the international landscape now. Russia said on Sunday it had thwarted terrorism attacks reportedly planned in St. Petersburg thanks to a tip from Washington, bringing personal thanks again from President Vladimir Putin to his U.S. counterpart, Donald Trump. Russian news agencies cited the Federal Security Service as saying that thanks to the information, 2 Russians were detained on December 27th on suspicion of plotting attacks during the New Year festivities in St. Petersburg. The Kremlin said Putin passed on his gratitude to Trump during a phone call on Sunday for the tip from U.S. Special Services. It gave no more details. Diplomatic ties between Washington and Moscow are fraught over disagreements from Ukraine to Syria and allegations of Russian meddling in the U.S. presidential election. But Trump and Putin have managed to keep personal lines open. In other news, the Korean Central News Agency reported Tuesday the Democratic People's Republic of Korea leader Kim Jong-un has called for diplomatic and military countermeasures for preserving the country's sovereignty and security ahead of the impending expiry of Pyongyang's end-of-year deadline for U.S. concessions. Kim made the remarks during a session on Day 3 of the plenary meeting of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party, according to Pyongyang's state media. The KCNA said Kim urged party members to prepare, quote, positive and offensive political, diplomatic and military countermeasures for firmly preserving the sovereignty and security of the country, intensifying the combat against anti-socialist and non-socialist acts. Media outlets say former Nissan boss Carlos Ghosn has reportedly traveled to Lebanon after leaving Japan. One Lebanese official reportedly told AFP news agency that Mr. Ghosn reached Beirut, but it's unclear how he left Japan. Mr. Ghosn was arrested over allegations of financial misconduct in 2018 and faces several charges. He was awaiting trial in Japan and barred from leaving Japan. He denies any wrongdoing. Whether Mr. Ghosn has struck a deal with prosecutors or fled is unknown. The businessman holds French and Lebanese passports. We're going to wrap it up, and thanks for joining me on Myanmar Today. I'm Henry Zin. We'll catch up again tomorrow. Bye-bye now. And Happy New Year to you all.